All right. Good morning, everybody. Joe Van Duren here, and welcome to our Virtues Pick for the day. And I'm excited to share this word with you because it really made me stop and think a little this morning about who I am and how I want to be. So the word that we got today was understanding. And so here's the description. Understanding is having clear insight into ideas and feelings. We thoughtfully seek to comprehend the full truth. We are mindful of what is most important. We are deeply present to others with compassion and accuracy, helping them to discern their own clarity. We go the extra mile to put ourselves in another's shoes in order to forgive. We treasure knowledge and use our minds as tools to explore what is real and true. We cherish the ability to see the whole picture. So, what a great word. And when I was reading this and thinking about it this morning, I was thinking about, well, how do you demonstrate understanding? What do I need to do? And I think it begins as I'm reading this and thinking about it. I think it begins with empathy and being willing to. We can't understand something unless we're willing to listen, and if we're willing to just put ourselves in that position and think about it from their point of view. So to understand something means that we're trying to comprehend whatever the situation might be. And it might be comprehending how a person feels. It might be comprehending a situation and how it got to that place. What were the roots of that? And what knowledge do I need to understand this completely? And so that's really about seeing that whole picture, right? Not just from our own viewpoint or from our own standpoint or standing. And so, it just understanding is takes a deep amount of thought, right? And so, what are some of the things that we need to understand? Well, it would be great if we could understand how other people are feeling or how other people's ideas came about, and where they came from and why they feel that way. And sometimes understanding can be taken from from another point of view, because we all appreciate it when someone talks to us or when we're talking with someone in conversation and we feel like they understand us. Well, how did they get there? Or how did we get there to that point? We feel understood, especially when we're heard, when we're listened to, right? And I think that's true for everybody, for children, for adults, for teens especially, right? How many times has a teenager said, "You just don't understand me"? Well, that might be true. And even if you do understand them, if they don't feel understood, then there's a problem there, right? And so that's part of that whole communication thing, is about listening and making sure that we hear in a way that the other person feels like they are understood. So that doesn't mean that you're going to agree with everybody, but it does mean that we want the other person to feel like they've been heard and that they've been understood. That takes a great deal of compassion. It takes patience. It takes empathy. It takes, a willingness to just listen and not try to stamp the situation with our own viewpoint far before learning what the other person's viewpoint is. So there's a lot to that, isn't there? And so today, as I think about this word of understanding, I'm going to be thinking about it from the point of view of, what do I need to do to understand not only my family members, but today I'm thinking about something a little bit different. I'm thinking about understanding parents in the world that we live today. Because parenting is so, whoa, there's a bee right here. Parenting is so different today. It's so different, and yet it's so much the same. But there's just different pressures on us. And I think every generation goes through this. But understanding where parents are today and the pressures that they feel, the responsibilities, the costs, the feelings that they have that are being driven either by themselves or by people who are close to them or by society as a whole, all of those things have an effect on our ability to parent the way that we believe is most helpful for our children. So I'm going to focus on trying to understand that more fully, and that's where my focus is going to be. So I'm in the process of writing a couple of classes, and some of them are on the challenges of coping with the challenges of behavior. I'm working on a book on having family meetings and the importance of it, and how to handle them in a way that everyone in the family feels heard. And so those are some of the things. And to do that effectively, I have to understand what parents are going through today, their time factors and the pressures that they're feeling. So with all that in mind, how do we help our children? How do we help our children get to a place where they can have developed fully their virtue of understanding? Well, I think that's, it begins as always. It begins with us role modeling it, that we sit and listen. But I think also for children to be understanding, they have to feel, of course, like they've been understood, and have a great deal of confidence in their own knowledge and their own feelings about themselves and the knowledge that they have of themselves. But to help them develop understanding for others is probably mostly about teaching them to listen and be deeply present with others when they're speaking. And I think the only way that I can think of teaching that is by role modeling it and articulating what understanding is. That's the only thing I can think of. I don't know. So what do you think? I would love to hear how you might approach on a long-term basis, not just I'm going to sit down and talk about understanding one time, but on a long-term basis, how do we help develop this virtue? Because our children have it in them. Whoop, there's that bee again. Holy cow. Our children have it in them. And it's just a matter of bringing it out. So how can we bring out the ability to understand and have clear insight into ideas and feelings? I think it's a great question. What's your thoughts on it? And if we can get some answers to that, then we'll I think it would be helpful for everybody. All right, so that's how I'm thinking about it today. And I look forward to seeing everybody. I hope everyone has a safe holiday. And and I have a great deal of I'm thinking a lot about the folks down in Florida who are undergoing all that trauma with the building that's collapsed and then they took down, and the loss of life and all of that. And I certainly pray that these folks find some peace and some peace for themselves. So thank you for being here today. I look forward to seeing everyone tomorrow morning. We'll have a new virtue to focus on for the day. And until next time, keep practicing the 4 C's of successful families, and that is clarity, communication, consistency, and community. Until next time, bye.